You say you went into the ADC with the primary objective of taking out Bola Tinubu.
Who said that?
So I said some of you. There are a lot of your colleagues in the ADC.
Yeah, you asked.
Their primary goal is that Bola Tinubu must go back to Lagos in 2027. Are you one of those?
No, I'm not. My one is more global than that. I mean,
what's your role?
Really, there's no point taking out Bola Tinubu if you are going to replace him with a more evil government. There's no point.
Is there an evil government?
He is, of course, it's evil.
Like the one you belong to?
Completely evil. Which one do I belong to?
You were part of the Buhari government.
No, the Buhari government was not this. Now, give me a break. Because Buhari is dead, everybody's...
No, I'm just asking a question, and I'm not passing any judgment. But I'm just asking you, if you describe Bola Tinubu government as an evil government, that those who say, well, you are of the same political party.
Look.
Maybe you are all evil.
No, wait, let's not argue about mundane things.
When Christians now complain that jihadi groups that are Muslim in outlook, bandits or killer headsmen that are Muslim in outlook, are killing them, and the numbers are rising to genocidal proportion, a group like Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs should be more concerned about the fact that people within their demography have gone this level of rogue to the point that Nigeria is battling insecurity that emanates from your own demography. Boko Haram members are Muslims, bandits are Muslims. That should be a concern to the Sultan of Sokoto, who should be at this point be at the forefront of carrying out the necessary reforms that will roll back radicalization and indoctrination that has led to jihadism in Nigeria. But he's playing the ostrich. I'm so disappointed in him as a Muslim. I'm so disappointed. And I want to call on the government. Enough of this politics. President Tinubu should sit up and stop playing politics with the lives of Nigerians.
Okay.
By this morning, I should have expected that they should have called in the officials of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs for questioning by security agencies. And that should include the Sultan himself. The federal government cannot be making consolatory statements towards the international community. And they are here making provocative statements, asking Trump to grant a statement. How do you reconcile that? They need to be ranging. They need to be cautioned. And I think Sultan should be giving stern warning never to make such a statement again on national security. If he doesn't want it to say, let him keep his mouth shut through his Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. This nonsense must not continue.
Right,
it must stop. Enough is enough.
Sorry, Dr.
Because it's very provocative. How do you explain that such a statement comes at such a time? Look, I've said it severally. When a Boko Haram Muslim group kills 1 million Muslims, it does not generate the same concern as when it kills one Christian. Because genocide has to do with targeted killings on the basis of creed, race, ethnicity, and all other factors that are peculiar to the humanity of the victim.
All right, Dr.
And so genocide in this instance can be raised when the numbers are rising, especially when a group has been attacked by a group that is of different ethnicity and religion from them.
All right,
so it's unfortunate.
All right, so the council...
I do not know why we have a group called Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria. I don't know why that group exists. That group should be disbanded. And the statements that are part of that group has been irrational, provocative, as if somebody wants to plunge Nigeria into a sectarian warfare. A group that calls itself Supreme Council for Sharia in Nigeria. You know, when people make such statements, they will turn around and blame others for Islamophobia. These are the same groups taking Islamophobia. When Muslims like us are trying to reflect the beauty of Islam, the peace that Islam is, the humanity that's at the core of Islam, through our words, our writings, and our conduct, groups like this will come out and make no sense of our efforts. They will come out gun blazing, attacking people of other faiths, making reckless statements. I mean, so such a group in the first place should have something like National Council for Sharia in Nigeria, because this is a government-backed group. Somebody's enjoying salaries from the collective patrimony of Nigeria under that aegis, and all they do is to use such political statements. So I'm telling my comment today on this matter on the fact that group should be scrapped. They should scrap that group. Then secondly, again, like I said of the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, this group in particular, the one many statements on this group should have been arrested by DSS by now. President Tinubu, wake up! For this will cause anarchy and chaos in this country. Wake up! I think that statement from the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs is not only irresponsible, it is callous, it is insensitive, lacking in empathy and common sense of logical reasoning. And it's so unfortunate that the apex body of the Muslim community in Nigeria, headed by the Sultan of Sokoto, who is supposed to be the Sediki Muslimi or the leader of Muslims in Nigeria and even in Niger, can issue such a statement at this time, at a time that we are supposed to be having a national reflection, particularly amongst the Muslim community, as to how come it is our demography, our own divide, our own side of the divide, that has produced the twin problem that Nigeria is battling hard to contain, which is Boko Haram on one hand and banditry on the other hand. It is not a time to be hypocritical, to be insincere. This is not the time to play the ostrich. If anything at all is going to threaten the national unity of Nigeria, it is not Trump's statement. It is this very statement that has been issued by the Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs. It's mark of complicity on their part, and if I must say, on the part of those of us that are Muslims, when you issue a statement that is so insensitive to the plight of our Christian brethren, It is unfortunate. I did not imagine that it can come out of the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs. I've heard Shegumi and some other people making statements. It wasn't something I was bothered about, because I felt that they don't represent the organized, the collective body that represents Muslims in Nigeria. But when this statement came out of the Supreme Council of Islamic Affairs, I was not only embarrassed as a Muslim, I was ashamed of myself. I felt that we have taken a logic, we have taken echo chamber rhetorics to the height of it, to the highest level of ridicule. And this is nothing but an image battering statement for the Muslim community in Nigeria. Trump again did not say he was going to fight Muslims on behalf of Christians. He said he was coming to fight terrorists that are killing Christians. Why is the Muslim community in Nigeria up in arms against such a proposition? Are we the ones killing Christians? Are we supporting the terrorists to kill Christians? Can Muslims actually endure crusader Christian groups rising up to kill Muslims in a targeted manner? Is it possible for Muslims to sit down and accept it? Kofi, let me give you a good example. In this same country, recently, 16 northern Muslim hunters were hunted down in Urumi because their identity was mistaken to be bandits, right? The entire Muslim North was up in arms against the Edo State government and its people. It took Upebolo, the governor of Edo, to go and practically kneel down to appease both the family, the state government, and other critical stakeholders in the North for the killing of 16 people. They not took a special exception to it. I didn't hear the Supreme Court of Islamic Affairs making this statement to say, no, it's part of the ongoing crisis in the country that consumed these 16 people. No. It was a special case. It was a specially mentioned case because those who killed them are of different demography. They are Southerners and they are Christians. I also remember vividly when the woman Fatima was killed in Anambra by IPOB elements along with her 4 children. The Anambra State government had to go the extra mile to appease both the family, the other community in Anambra State, and the entire country by showing the seriousness with which the government takes that killing. Even when IPOB elements were killing hundreds, if not thousands of Igbo people in Anambra State. You recall, Kofi, a year or 2 ago, there was an attack on a northern dominated market in Ibadan. If you recall, when that attack happened in Ibadan, and most of the casualties were northerners, a delegation of northerners came to Oyo State to ask questions why northern governors of predominantly Muslim states, whose people were targeted, came to Ibadan to ask questions. The governors of the southwest, led by then Akeredolu late now, had to take the initiative to rein in their people, made arrests just to pacify the north. It happened in this country.
Listen to that. And the thing is, he is a Muslim. He's a Muslim. He's the one talking like this. So I wonder why people, it's not even as if people find it difficult to understand. It's just that they decided to hide the truth and decided to speak, especially the Sultan of Sokoto. I don't know. This is a Muslim. He lives in the north. He is a Muslim. He has a lot of friends that are Muslim, that are Christians from the north. And what I'm saying here, I think this is a battle for Christian supremacy, or battle of supremacy. I don't get it, because a lot is going on and a lot has happening. The secret has been exposed. This can even make us to understand the reason what behind this insecurity in these different groups in the north, that people in government are truly involved. Reasons why they are not able to solve it, because these people, they have sponsors and they have sponsors. So those people are the problem. And now they said, this is not even alleged. Somebody said it openly. This is not even hidden. So it's everything I'm saying is on the public domain that we went because it is happening. This is what you know, what you see, because there's no actions. And if a lot of persons do not go to jail, life imprisonment for this insecurity, for the problem of insecurity, for the problem they created in this country, we will not get it. We will not get anywhere. We are not going anywhere. If some people, if Tinubu did not stand up now to act very fast, take up his responsibility to get some of these people arrested, we are going to be here till Jesus come talking about this. I said God will help us. Another president, another political party, not APC, another political party takes over from APC before we can breathe. Otherwise, because APC created this problem, APC are still in position today. APC people who created this problem, they are still in government of APC. So how do you expect APC to solve the problem? Do you understand? So it is not, I don't know. Now you see a lot of people are hiding the truth. You are not able to solve the problem. Somebody is coming to intervene. It becomes a problem for you again, because you have a hidden agenda, right? You have a hidden agenda. You know reasons why you do not want this issue to be resolved. Because you in particular are not being affected. Your family has not been, because you are not the target. Because the targets do not have voices to speak. Especially the Sultan of Sokoto, who is making the reckless statement, who is making a confusing statement, or you leave the issues, you start saying other things. When you listen to them, it was the same man, Sultan of Sokoto, who said this insecurity, before we solve this problem, is going to take decades. That's what he said. One of the events he attended a couple of months ago. When somebody is a Sultan of Sokoto, that is to say, every Muslims in Nigeria are under him, right? He controls them as a leader. So these different groups now, he cannot say he does not know anything about it. He knows. That was the reason why he issued that statement that it's going to take decades. When somebody say decades, that means we are talking about 20 years and above before we can solve the problem. Before Donald Trump now saying, no, we can't wait till 20 years before this problem can be solved. Before then, all Christians would have been, every Christian in Nigeria would have been eliminated. Do we want? No, that's not what we wanted. We don't want the killing of Christians to continue. We don't even want the killing of Muslims to continue. And who are those killing both? It is a Muslim. I don't know why people are not seeing it that way. So, anyways, this is just it. Take your time, listen to this man. What Baba Lawache said on this video. Then you will understand what we are talking about. Just take your time, watch the video. We'll come back and talk about it.
You say you went into the ADC with the primary objective of taking out Bola Tinubu.
Who said that?
So I said some of you. There are a lot of your colleagues in the ADC.
Yeah, you asked.
Their primary goal is that Bola Tinubu must go back to Lagos in 2027. Are you one of those?
No, I'm not. My one is more global than that. I mean,
what's your own
really, there's no point taking out Bola Tinubu if you are going to replace him with a more evil government. There's no point.
Is there an evil government?
He is, of course, it's evil.
Like the one you belong to?
Completely evil. Which one do I belong to?
You were part of the Buhari government.
No, the Buhari government was not this. Now give me a break. Because Buhari is dead, everybody is.
No, I'm just asking a question, and I'm not passing any judgment. But I'm just asking you, if you describe Bola Tinubu government as an evil government, that those who say, well, you are the same political party.
Look.
Maybe you are all evil.
No, wait. Let's not argue about mundane things. When you classify something as evil, it's relative to what is not, isn't it? It is. So by calling them relative as evil government, it's relative to past governments that we've had, implying that past governments were better, were more accommodating, better, better.
Why do you think that?
In the sense of equity in the system, in the sense of intention to fight corruption, in the sense of being fair and just, even in the sense of security. Whatever happened, I mean, good luck Jonathan fought insecurity. He did. He was not so successful at it. Buhari took over and did. This government are not interested in that.
In fighting, is that fair to say?
They are not interested in.
You know, there are people. I mean, in a state like yours, where people Adamawa State that is bedeviled by this insecurity challenge, and one of the three states that's faced Boko Haram attacks over the years. Would it be fair tonight to say that this government is doing nothing in terms of security for the soldiers who stay up at night securing the people of Adamawa State, for example?
Let me tell you, my friend, don't try to blackmail me. Before this government came into government, Adamawa State was peaceful. Small skirmishes in border areas with Borno State, yes, but completely peaceful. Now we can go to our farms, except for a small area in my local government which borders Sambisa forest. There's no more this. Sometimes, occasionally, they come down from the mountains in Madagali and maybe come down and forage for food, and anybody they come find on the way, they attack you physically. But Adamawa is extremely relatively peaceful now, and this government made it that way.
So things are worse in Adamawa now? Is that what you're saying? Compared to when Buhari was in government 2 years ago?
By the time Buhari was leaving, Adamawa was completely peaceful.
But things are now worse.
But now there are some skirmishes, like in my local government. Suddenly there are some people now coming to invade lands, drive out the people, kill them, and so on and so forth. But it wasn't like that before. During Buhari's time, it was not like that.
But someone like the NSA, who is your brother from Adamawa,
yes,
who says they are working day and night to fish out these people,
yes,
is that fair to say about your own brother?
My own brother.
Is it not your brother?
My friend.
Is it not you're not from
we are from the same state, yes.
But you don't belong in the same political alignment.
No, we don't.
That's why you don't respect whatever work he's doing.
I don't see what work he's doing. I mean, if I see what work he's doing, I'll tell you. You know me now. I'm never somebody to say what is not there. If I see results of what they are doing, I'll say it. It won't hurt me. It won't kill me. But I don't see it. I mean, yes, I know soldiers are out there, some are losing their lives. Quite a lot of them are from my community that came back dead. I know that. I know soldiers are losing their lives. Now, why are they losing their lives? Because the system that's supposed to support them has failed. It has failed. I mean, when you send a soldier into battlefield with an old antiquated rifle that has can only hold 20 rounds of ammunition and is facing an enemy that has chains of 1 kilometer or 1 meter of bullets, and you shoot 1, 2, 3, it hooks, it jams.
But why did you change things? You were the former SGF.
We did. Who told you we didn't do it?
What did you
Our
do
time
then?
was better. They had better arms. We had this advantage that our own was a soldier. Our head of state was a soldier, and he understood the issues, and he did well.
So because President Bola Tinubu is not a soldier,
Maybe he doesn't, yes, or maybe he's not interested.
let me ask you, you are David. In fact, some people call you Pastor Lawal.
I have 2 degrees in theology, Christian theology, yeah.
Okay. Academically speaking, but practically, are you a practicing
You
pastor?
know, I practiced missionary work. When I was young, I used to be a missionary out there in other countries.
But you backslided when you grew old.
Yeah, well, now I don't do missionary work because, for one, I'm diabetic. I need to carry my injection, which requires refrigeration 24 hours. So you can imagine me in Darfur, where I used to be, or somewhere where there's no electricity, I'll be dead.
The younger David Lawal was knew God better. But now
No, I know
you have changed your ways.
No, I know God better now.
You know more money now. So
Even the service to God, the Shewon is graded according to your ability.
So I just
Yeah, I know.
So the point I'm making is that I'm drawing. Would you regard yourself as a minority Christian in a largely, just for a moment, sir, a minority Christian from a largely Muslim north?
No, I don't know. Let's define that. There's no minority Christian. There's no minority.
Is Christianity a minority in the northern Nigeria?
Oh, I think what you are trying to say, Sean, is that I come from one of the smaller tribes, which in terms of Igbo, Yoruba, Hausa, they are called major tribes because they are larger as ethnic groups. So there are some of us, like my own, probably below 1 million, or if maximum maybe 1 million, and then we aggregate ourselves to form a whole, and then they call us a minority. The minority in the sense that individually we are small, but nothing more than that.
So there are Christians in southern part of Borno. There are Christians, heavy populations of Christians. In Adamawa, I know there are a lot of Christians too, sending in most part of the northern Nigeria. But there is a perception that Christians are not, voices of Christians are not as prominent in northern Nigeria. But you are one, you are a Christian.
Yeah, I'm Christian. I'm from one of those tribes, yeah.
Okay.
You see, you need to look at the historical reasons why this is this. When the British came, during their colonial, by that time there was jihad. And the jihad actually went around conquering and installing Islamic emirates. But quite a lot of the tribes resisted them, and they were not able to conquer them. And those tribes, mostly smaller tribes like our own, eventually embraced Christianity, or they were already Christians by the time of the jihad of 1904 or so. So, but you see, the British had an issue. They wanted to rule through the indirect rule, and they felt that establishing using the emirate system was good because it was already established administratively and so on. So they were collecting tax effectively. So the British leaned on that system and went about, like in Adamawa, where majority of the tribes were not conquered, went about installing and demoting the chiefdoms they met in place. Where there's a chiefdom like my own, where we were first class, they wanted to rule through the indirect system, through the emirate system. So they demoted our own people and gave ascendancy to the newcomer, the emir, the lamido. And so all over the place, that's how it has been. You know, they were not able to conquer us. And this position remained, and that we feel that we are not subservient to the Fulani, to the Muslims, so to say. Quite a lot of our people converted to Islam eventually, not by coercion of the jihad, but by conviction or whatever. So the dynamics has remained that way. The tension has remained that way. You know, the jihadists feel superior. We feel they are not, because in any case, like me, they didn't conquer my people. They just went to Yola and installed Modibo Adama, who came with the staff from office from Sokoto, and enhanced his status. So this is what has affected the dynamics of the north. Now, majority of us are Christians of those tribes. We are many. We cut across, like you said.
You feel subdued.
No, we don't feel subdued. I mean, that is the issue.
Is there a religious discrimination to the point that it can be described as a deliberate attempt to subjugate or some kind of genocide going on in northern Nigeria?
There are two things. You separate the emirate system and the traditional chieftaincy issues aside, jihad and those who were not conquered by jihad, and then the religion. And the consequence upon that, what is the dynamics between the Christianity and Islam? It appears that the jihadists have not forgiven the Christian community for not being conquered. And they have consistently used all manner of subterfuge to get that ascendancy. To the extent shown that if you call a Muslim nail cutter today is cutting your nail, he'll feel superior to you because he's Muslim. Now, one of the reasons why we protested the Muslim ticket was because, and I did say it here, it was going to give such fundamentalists, Islamic fundamentalists, the impetus, the courage to go ahead, feeling that now is their government. They've had a stamp of approval at the federal, so it's now an excuse for them to go down the line. It does happen. I gave you a story one time when a Fulani man, herdsman, entered my farm with his cows, and we arrested him, and we were taken to the police station, and he was boasting that, do you think that I can come to your farm without somebody giving me the permission? This is our government. I was even then an SGF. And for a cattle herder to tell me that Buhari is authorized him to go and do what, enter my farm, was very annoying. But you see, at his level of education, he thinks that because the president was a Muslim, he had the right to do whatever he wanted and get away with it. And now that is the consequence of the Muslim ticket. It has given them the courage to go the last mile, persecuting people, intimidating people, and killing people where they refuse to be intimidated.
Christians are being killed in the north.
Massively, of course.
And this is a deliberate, so it's some kind of genocide, if you describe it that way.
It's a genocide. If it is not a genocide, it's a pogrom.
Give me a moment. We need to go on a break, everyone, but when Mr. Babachi Lawal, some people call him Pastor David Lawal, but I mean, as a politician, I'm not sure he even remembers what part of the Bible is the book of Genesis or book of Nehemiah. But I mean, passions are high, tension is high in the country about this very sensitive matter. But the truth must be told, and we need to have a tough conversation. But there are a lot of people who will believe that as a political figure of your kind of profile, there are some things that need not to be said, and there are some things that are too sensitive to be said. And when you say there is a genocide against Christians in the north, that those who say maybe you are not very, very correct with your position. Well, it's up to them. It's up to them. I have my own position, they have theirs. I've watched the argument going about on this issue of genocide. It is one-sided. I mean, obviously, those who are more vehemently opposing it are the Muslims, whose brothers are the perpetrators of the genocide. The argument has always been, and they come with this very funny narrative that, Muslims too are also being killed. More Muslims are being killed than Christians. Well, that's the argument, but it does not justify that which is happening. If 1,000 children are killed, and among that 1,000, one is your own, your worries about that your own. And in any case, why is the argument dodging the fact that those being accused of carrying out the genocide are Muslims? They are not Christians. So if a Muslim wakes up and starts killing people, and he kills 1,000 Muslims and kills 100 Christians, the argument we do have among we Christians is that probably those they are killing are Muslims they consider not of the caliber they thought would be. But is it deliberate? Or these are just ragtag criminals who are...
Give me a break. You come about 500 of you on a motorcycle, you enter a village, burn it, kill it, cut off the head of the pregnant woman, slit her stomach to bring out the Christian child.
But does criminality know religion? Do they ask people, are you a Christian or a Muslim before they kill them?
They kill you because they are Christian, and also they kill Muslims because they don't think they are good Muslims. Everybody agrees.
If I see you on the road, your Christianity is not written on your head.
Yes.
So and if anybody attacks you...
But if you come to Benue State, and you go to a village in Benue State and kill everybody, you can't claim that you don't know that that community is wholly Christian. You can't claim you don't, because you know. Do you have a personal experience? And the reason why I brought the conversation and I started the conversation about where you are from, the number of your tribe and your religion in Adamawa, for example, that is a predominant northern state, and the kind of narrative that has gone on. That's why I asked you that specific question. And the fundamental issue is whether or not these are just criminal elements who attack possibly vulnerable spots in Nigeria that are occupied by Christians. Accidentally. Is it possible? Well, it will be amazing to find out why a majority of those criminals killing Christians and of course Muslims have the inclination because they are Muslims. It's up to you to find out why is it that the Fulani headsmen or the Fulani, who you prefer to call some more generous names like bandits, who are doing all these killings, is it not amazing that they are from one single tribe and religion? Is it not amazing? Is it not amazing that they have sufficient armaments at their disposal with which they kill and maim and loot and burn? Is it not amazing that it doesn't occur to you, Shevon, that somebody somewhere must be funding them?
You're saying that this is an orchestrated...
Because the resources at their disposal is so enormous that sometimes they are better, all the time they are better armed than the soldiers. All we don't have these days is maybe they are yet to acquire helicopters and bombers. But I mean, we do hear now these days that they now also use drones. Now, if it is just a primitive, uneducated, bush-living Fulani man that decides to do this, how does he get the knowledge?
You have painted a whole tribe, a Fulani tribe.
They don't call their own people to order. If one of you goes bad and you don't call him to order, you don't check him, if my son goes out to question him and I don't call him to order, if they say my whole family is involved, you are right.
So are you saying Trump is right?
Trump might be right, might not be right, but don't forget, Shehu, there was a delegation that first went to United States to tell I think Obama then that Christians were being slaughtered in Nigeria. It included this man.
Which man?
The president, in that APC delegation. I saw the picture. Buhari was there, Amechi was there. I think he was the one even sitting close to the president, where they went to lobby the Americans that the Goodluck Jonathan government was carrying out genocide in Nigeria. So these are the issues that beat your mind. They go there themselves and say it does happen. They come back and when we say it happened, they say no, it doesn't happen anymore because we are in government. And look, the issue is this. Forget about whether there's genocide or not in Nigeria. The issue is that guarantee our security of life and our property. That is it. That's what we want from government.
How difficult is that?
Ask them.
You've been in government.
Yeah.
You know how difficult it could be. Is there anything you think could make it more difficult for this government? If you, in your own view, you think that they are not doing enough, but what do you think could have made it more difficult?
Government is progressive. If we didn't do well enough, they should do well enough. They say they will do better. And let them do the better they say they will do. We don't care about all this nomenclature of pogrom, what do you call the other one?
Genocide.
Genocide. All Nigeria's one is peaceful. It doesn't benefit me that my child is killed and 1,000 children of other people are killed. It doesn't benefit me in any way. What benefits me most is that everybody is alive. Let this government assure us, Christians, and if they like, including Muslims too.
Yeah.
That
to what end, Mr. Lawal, are these people you say are not being called to order? To what end? Do you think is their motive of killing people? Forget whether they are Christians or Muslim. Every individual that is being killed is human, first and foremost, in the eyes of God, whatever your faith is.
Yes.
To what end? What are they trying to achieve? Because I assume that these people are also Nigerians.
Yes, I resort to the Bible as though I think it's Jeremiah says, the heart of man is desperately evil. Who can fathom it? You know, it's in the Bible. It says the heart of man is desperately evil. You begin to wonder what as an average human being that God has blessed you don't have that type of heart. You know, you begin to wonder what drives such people to slaughter, cut off the head of a pregnant woman, slit her stomach, remove the umbilical and smash it to the ground. You never understand. You cannot understand. It's just the way God creates the world and so on and so forth. So they have their reasons. I believe, as I gave you a background, when the jihad was unable to successfully conquer other people as they had intended, and we resisted and survived, there's probably a new theology that they must also continue, or they resent us, or they don't want to see us, or whatever it is. I don't know. Maybe they don't want to see us. Maybe they don't want to see us alive. Maybe our being alive annoys them, or annoys somebody there. I don't know. And look, and then the government, by deliberate actions, seems to encourage that. I tell you, I refer back to this Muslim ticket. That is the battleground. That's the fundamental basis where they have the justification to continue. If the government itself decides that no, we have no regard for the Christians in Nigeria, we can run our government as Muslims, whether they like it or not, they can go to hell. So what do you talk of the man on the ground? It goes. Recently there was argument about they also want to bring, what do they call it, something economy, Islamic economy, halal economy. And when people came to me complaining, I said, what do we expect to happen? When they have a Muslim government, they decided to do it. How do you expect them not to progress until they get to the end? What was the essence of the Muslims don't get?
Are you saying this because you are now of the APC, you don't belong with
I said this even when I was in APC. Shaul, I was here with you when I was in APC. When did I leave APC? Only on the formation of ADC.
Give me a moment. By the way, that meeting you were talking about was in Lagos with John Kerry, the then Secretary of State, where you had the then candidate Buhari, the then chairman of the APC, John Oyegun, and you had now President Bola Tinubu, and you have Rotimi Amechi. But there are those who say that conversation was not around whether or not there was genocide. That John Kerry also met with other political parties.
Yes, but I can tell you that was the conversation.
That there was genocide in Nigeria.
Yes.
Maybe the genocide doesn't exist anymore longer.
I've read somewhere when I was coming, of course, there is a lot of fake news, but where Donald Trump was saying that he was carrying out the request of Bola Tinubu about genocide in Nigeria. I've read somewhere. It could be true, it could not be true these days of fake media. But look, don't tell me. We are not interested in whether. Look, Chewo, I, as a person, I'm a very patriotic Nigerian. You cannot keep me outside Nigeria for 7 days without my feeling that I'm in exile or something. I like this country. I would therefore not want to surrender my security or any other thing, whatever, to a foreign country. The last time I was in America was the year 2000.
But
25 years ago.
Why is this government look like it's under attack? There is a rumor of coup. Here you come. There is another foreign government that is on the.
There's a saying that those who make peaceful change possible make violent change possible. Those who make peaceful change impossible make violent change possible. Now, if a human being sees that he's not unable to, that's we adopted this democracy in which we have the right to change our leaders when they don't serve us well, and then you see that right is being eroded. The possibility of you exercising that right is being eroded. You know, what else do you have then to effect a change of government? What else do you have? What do you do?
Are you justifying the coup?
No, I'm saying that I've told you before. Plus, if you make peaceful change impossible, be prepared for a violent change.
So meaning that 2027 is being pushed in the face of everyone and making it like.
This issue did not start with Bola Tinubu. Issue of democracy being subverted. You vote, you don't get counted. That started quite a long time ago. You know, immediately after General Obasanjo. You know, then progressively things got up to stage where now, you know, it has become so pervasive, so scary, so you feel caged. You feel unable to exercise your democratic rights. You feel unable to, you know, they've now converted APC into a refugee camp for EFCC refugees. You pack billions, you go, you negotiate, join APC. The story going around that they even give you humongous amount of money for a governor that becomes. So what do we do, for God's sake? We now put our heads on the chopping block, come and chop it? When there's no security, you complain. The government, if you complain about insecurity in your area, the government comes after you. They have all sorts of thugs in the government.
Give me a moment. We need to go on another break. We'll be right back to wrap up. What do we do? What must we do?
Now, let me classify this issue of genocide before I give you my views. First of all, the level of genocide is 2, even though people don't like to talk about it. The Fulani perpetrators of this violence, first of all, we know the Boko Haram started with the genocide, Christians they were attacking, so there's no debate about that. But now, you see that other victims of this genocide are the Hausa people. The Hausa people around Sokoto, KB, Katsina, and so on. They are the ones there. When you mention many people, Muslims are being killed, there are Muslim Hausas that are being slaughtered in their thousands, you know, in mosques and so on and so forth. Then, of course, there are also the Christian genocide everywhere. That one, there's no dispute about it. Now, what to do about it? The government should assure us that they can give us the peace, security, and prosperity that we desire. If they are unable to do that, they cannot blame any part of the society that decides to seek help from anywhere. I don't know whether you know, I give you a story. In the Bible, there's a theology of Christian brotherhood, where we are considered as brothers, the universal church, in which we are supposed to be our brother's keeper, irrespective of tribe, nationality, or ethnicity. You are supposed to come to the defense of your brother when he's in trouble. So if the American Christians decide that they are going to come to the aid of the Nigerian Christians because they are in their stress, that is theological, that is biblical. There's ample position in it. Go and study it. Theology of Christian brotherhood. So they are within their rights as Christians to come to the aid of Christians. And if Christians we feel unable to defend ourselves, the government is not listening. When you talk to government, they send their attack those, insult you, insult your father, say all sorts of things. You begin to be despondent. So they should assure us that they can protect us, and then we join them to tell the Americans to keep off our land.
Mr. Pastor David Babachila.
Now, did you listen to that? That's Babachila. He's a Christian. He lives in the north. Everything these people are telling you, they live in the north. They know better than we living in the south. Even some people decided to keep quiet. They don't want to say anything. They don't want to talk about it because they feel that they are safe today or something like that. But the truth must be told. It is the truth that will set us free. Otherwise, no. Do you understand? So, and now he's telling you now because he's fans. He's telling you what happened. So, I don't know why people... I don't understand this country, to be honest with you. That's why they say if they explain Nigeria to you and you understand, the person did not explain very well, go and ask another person, because you are met, I don't know, you don't understand this country. The day we, all of us, understand this country, the day this country will get better. Because as it is now, many people do not even understand this country, because we are just like, we are doing, it's like a remote control. They are controlling us. telling us do this, don't do this, don't do that. When you do this, you get this. When you do that, you get that. That's just it. That's how it is. Because if no, in a society, in a normal society, in a safe society, everything going on in this country shouldn't be going on. People should put behind the bar for us to have peace in this country. But yet, who is going to do that? So, in a country where, God, it is where it is okay. Anyways, what do you think? Please leave your honest opinion. What do you think about this video? Because anybody saying there's no, you are just trying to prolong the evil day, saying there's no Christian genocide going on in this country. That one is just nonsense. So it is going on. We all know the solution we want. Since the solution is not coming from Nigeria, so we need international to help us before it gets too late. And as it is now, if care is not taken, I don't know what will happen tomorrow. And now, because of Donald Trump's statement, these people are even working very hard to even eliminate many before Donald Trump's intervention. That is even more reasons why Donald Trump has to act very fast. Do you understand? That's it. Anyways, what do you think? Please leave your honest opinion, share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. Your guy, run out for me now.